Will this be another conversation that leads to nowhere? Well, stick around and find out. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jose Morales and I do the 9x12 method, and in my videos I bring you the truth on the struggles. There's a lot of videos that talk about nothing but the successes, but there's probably a lot of people like me who are on a struggle bus, and I want to make sure that everyone knows that this business is not always as easy as it seems. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about this. I met this person at a networking event, so I am on my way right now to meet up with them. Let me roll up this window. I don't know if there's a lot of noise, so I apologize if there is. So let me turn on the air. It's still a little hot out here where I'm at. So I'm going over there to meet with this person. They are in the financial services world, and we'll see. I mean, I've had a lot of one-on-one meetings, and they tend to really go nowhere. But I continue to have them. I continue to go to these networking events because you never know. One of those could be that pivotal moment where everything changes. And I can't sit there and just be like, oh, you know what? I haven't gotten anything out of it, so let me just go ahead and just stop doing it. I got to continue to push on. And if you didn't see my video in regards to me switching the way that I'm going to be, or the way that I'm going to transition from the 9x12 to the community one, I'll probably have that video here towards the end so that you can watch that if you haven't watched that one yet. And what I did is yesterday, I actually started to do some, I started to reach out with my new offer. So basically the offer is switching down to the community card after watching an interview that Jake did with this couple out in Montana. And I was just like, you know what, I probably need to go ahead and do that. And I had already kind of started that process in a different neighborhood, but I didn't really go full on with it. I just went out, for a few days and tried it, and I was getting the same exact result as I was with the 9x12. So I just kind of just stopped that and just kept focusing on the 9x12, right? Because if I'm going to be having the same struggle at that moment, I was like, why then bring it down and to do a smaller card with a smaller mailing? Because it's still gonna, it appeared to be taking the same amount of energy to get $100, couple $100, as well as the $500, right? So the smaller the community card versus the 9x12. So hopefully that made sense. I'm driving, so it might not have made sense here. But anyhow, after watching that video, it just kind of gave me confirmation that, I was on the right track possibly for my specific situation. And I did have a comment on there. When you watch that video, you can see one of the comments was, basically talking about, how that worked for their specific situation. And, was there a way for me to switch back to to continue doing the 9x12? And I completely understand that. So for me, the way that I'm looking at it is, I need to get a win. So I've been doing this since May. We're now in September. Next week will be the middle of September, and I haven't gotten anything. And like I talked about in my other videos, my ads work. What doesn't work is people are just not moving forward. One of my ads is a messenger ad. And I give them 3 options. So when they go to message me, 3 options. One of the options is I clicked on accident. So if they click that, then they get an automated response saying, hey, no worries, no worries. And I don't remember exactly what it says, but I know it says like, hey, no worries. And then probably something like, if you know any business owners that would be interested in this, please send them my way, or something to that effect. And then I have what I believe is a very high quality lead where it says, how do I move forward? Right? So they have 3 options. Oops, I clicked on it by accident. Or basically, hey, I'm ready to buy. And I just continue to get the same stuff, right? People are excited about it. They're interested in it, but they don't do anything. They don't move forward. But anyhow, I just pulled up here to the Starbucks where I'm going to be meeting meeting this person that I met in the one of the networking events that I went to. I met her it's probably been a month or so. But anyhow, let me go ahead and jump on in here and then I'll come right back. Okay, so I guess it was longer than a month. It was back in July is the last time that I saw her at one of the networking events. And then there's a networking event coming up next week, but she says she's not going to be able to make it to that. She does have her own event that's going to be coming up. So she's in the finance world. So she's going to be doing a money, I was going to say a webinar, but it's not online. It's in person. So she invited me to that. I got to check my schedule to see if I can make it to that, because at the end of the day, I still want to be able to show some support in addition to, you know, just being able to continue to connect and continue to build that relationship. And but now she has a better understanding of what I do, and she's going to then be able to, as she comes up with, comes across any business owners, she's now going to be able to explain, you know, what I do, or be able to refer people over to me. And then the same thing goes with me. If I run to anybody that that kind of fits her ideal client, then I can send them over to her as well. So that's why it's very important to be doing these networking events, because you just never know. You just never know. So we were able to kind of sit there and talk about you know, some of the personal stuff, as far as, you know, like things that happened in her life that basically got her to do what it is that she does. And then I talked to her about, you know, how did I end up doing what I'm doing today, and all of that. And just like with everything, it wasn't, or just with these networking events and these one-on-one meetings, it's not about trying to sell them. It's, hey, let me understand your business, and then how can I serve you? How can I help you with your business, to help your business move forward? And eventually, you know, something will pay off, right? So she was telling me about how she had somebody that she had met at a networking event, and that she, you know, was able to talk to about 4 months ago, who actually referred her parents over to her, and her parents are now this lady's clients. So it does work. It just takes time. You gotta consistently be showing up, and I wish that I could consistently be showing up on these YouTube videos for you, but you know, life gets in the way, right? And I'm busy trying to make things happen, trying to get this business off the ground. And then I'm just like, oh, you know what, I need to make a video so that I can keep you updated on what's going on in my specific journey. And you know, for me, I'm always hoping that the people that are watching my videos, that if they haven't started their journey yet, that when they do, they're going into it, you know, just more mentally prepared, so that in case they do encounter things that I'm encountering, you know, they can see that, hey, this is normal, right? It's not always the you know, selling out the card within a matter of just a few days with a few emails, and all of that. So there's more to it than that. Again, that's my personal journey. Obviously there's people that are making things happen, you know, real fast. So, you know, that's amazing for them. You know, I root for them, because you know, that's awesome, and I'm glad that they are being blessed like that. And you know, for me, I can't wait till I get to that point, so that I can then come onto this YouTube channel and tell you, hey, I finally did it. I finally got one postcard that's going to print, and just share my excitement with you. But I definitely appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I wish I would have, you know, better stories for you, just like, you know, the people that are having success, that I could sit there and be like, hey, do this, do that, to try to help you with your business. You know, if you're already doing it. But if you aren't doing it right now and you're thinking about doing it, just do it. If you currently have a job, you know, if it's possible for you, just start reaching out to people, even while you have a job. Because if you don't have a job, then it just becomes harder, because then you don't have that funding that's coming in, right, to help you along on your journey. Now, for me, I did things here and there when I was doing the job that I had before, but it was kind of very strict in the sense of, you had to sign a thing that says you can't have any side hustles or anything like that. You can't be doing anything. In a nutshell, any free time you have belongs to them. If you have free time and you want to be trying to do a side hustle, you take that free time and you invest it into theirs, right? And our salary. And anything that you create belongs to them. And this all happened when the company was acquired by another company. And I used to create things for franchisees to help them with their business and to help them track things and whatnot. But I ended up stopping that because it's like, I don't want the tools that I'm creating for these franchisees to all of a sudden become their property, and now I'm no longer I sign my rights away, right? That it belongs to them, and now I wouldn't be able to either A, use it, or B, sell it if for whatever reason I wanted to sell any of this stuff. So but anyhow, that little I got sidetracked there. But if you're not doing it right now and you're able to, not necessarily from a monetary standpoint, but you have the time and the freedom, the ability to do it, just start doing it. Don't sit there and wait till you have a website. Don't sit there and wait till you have your template and all that, because you think of it like what would be your immediate constraint, and the immediate constraint would be basically getting the conversations. So if you don't have the conversations, then having that website and having all this other stuff isn't moving your business forward. So you always got to look at it as like, what is my immediate constraint, and focus on that before then you go to your next immediate constraint. So hopefully that helps, and hopefully that made sense. So just go out there, just start firing off emails. What you'll notice is that even if you send 100 emails, just depending on, probably your market and your messaging, you might get 0 responses. So might as well just fire those off. Or if you find yourself in a position where you send 100 emails and you get, all of a sudden you get, an abundance of responses, and you can fill out your card immediately. Okay, well now you can move into the second immediate constraint, which would be possibly, okay, if you don't have your template set up, okay, I got to set up the template so that you can start putting these pieces in, right? So just kind of moving down the hose, the pipeline. So think of a hose, and the hoses, they have kinks. So it's like, what's that first kink that you got to undo? And that is your immediate constraint. But I'm going to go ahead and head back to the house and look for some email addresses so that I can continue to send out some emails. And what I did yesterday is I took my email list that I had been, or I took the email list of all the places that I have emailed, or a good chunk of them, and I put them into an email automation software, and I created the automation because I was just like, okay, since I'm going to be switching over to this community card, I need to get that message out, and I want to get it out there as quickly as possible, because again, the video that I watched, the people were talking about how they filled their card up in 3 days. In 3 days, right? So you got the same stories for the 9x12. Oh, I sold it in 3 days. I sold it in a week. But I'm not having that luck. But anyhow, so I'm just like, okay, well, maybe my luck will change. So I need to get my new offer out there as quickly as possible to all these people. So I went ahead and put that list into this email automation software, and I was able to fire it off, and it got delivered to everyone on the email list. But then, I could see, okay, what's the open rate? What's the click-through rate on it? So I was seeing all of that. And then I went back later to refresh it. So I wanted to see, okay, how many more opens have taken place? And then there it was showing that the campaign was inactive. And I'm like, inactive? I'm like, I know I activated this thing. So, it wouldn't let me activate it. So then there's a little icon, the little eye in the little circle. So I clicked on that, and it basically says your account has been suspended and will be terminated. for basically violating their spam policy or something like that. So unfortunately, now my account is being terminated. And what I ended up doing was I went ahead and downloaded the report that shows which email address opened the email. That way I know, okay, these other people that didn't open it in that time span, I'm going to go ahead and send them a follow-up email, and or the follow-up email, which is basically going to be the same exact email. And then for the people that did open it, then I know that, hey, I need to write a different follow-up email for that particular section of the audience. So that was a kick to the teeth, where it's just like I was excited because I'm like, all right, once they get this one, then I'll automate it to then send them a follow-up email, within the next few days, and then and to just have those follow-ups taking place automatically. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. So I guess what I could say is, what I probably should have done is just send off an email where I wasn't pitching anybody, and just try to make it more like, hey, how's it going? Some kind of non-sales related type of email, just to kind of warm up that automation software. So if you end up thinking of doing something like that, then just keep that in mind, so that you don't get banned, because now I'm not going to be able to use that. So I think they said that I have to wait 2 years before I can use that software. So that really sucks. But anyhow, I'm going to go back to the house, look up some more email addresses, do some more Facebook messages, because again, on that interview, they talked about how they closed everybody in 3 days using Facebook Messenger. So anyhow, I sent messages yesterday on Facebook, and Facebook blocked me, right? So it stopped me from sending more. I think I was able to send maybe 13 messages before it cut me off. So I'm hoping that by now that I'm out of the Facebook jail, and that I can send some more email or send some more direct messages that way. I also did send some text messages out, and I did have a couple people that responded I had one person respond, and I don't know if I already talked about this, but I had one person respond from the text message, and they're just asking me if their industry had been taken, and I said no, and that was the end of the conversation. They didn't continue. And then one of the Facebook messages that I sent, they were asking me, for more information basically, and I let them know. They responded with excitement. They were like gung-ho about it, but they said that they didn't have the budget to be able to do that right now. And if you want to know, so in that interview, they were talking about doing it for $199 when they switch over to Indianapolis. So I was just like, why start at $150? Let me go for $199, because I'm already taking a hit, right? So I figured, why not just start at the $199? And I don't think there's just no way for me to just bring it down even lower than that. So I'm going to stick at that $199. In addition to that, and I don't know if I have said this in this video, but in some of the other videos, I talk about how I have one local restaurant where I was able to get access to, they gave me access to their TV, where I can place ads on their TV. So my offer basically is $199 to be on this postcard. It's going to go to 2,500 mailboxes. And in addition to that, their ad is also going to be on that TV for additional exposure. And then that part of it is like a free bonus. So I just can't do it any cheaper than that. And you guys let me know in the comments what you think. But anyhow, I know I keep saying that this is it, but this is it. I really got to get back to work because it's already 11:36. So I'll probably just take a little quick lunch break and then just kind of get back into it. Oh shoot, actually looks like I'm not gonna be able to do that because at 12 o'clock. So for me, I'm always continuing my education. So I am in a couple of marketing programs that I'm involved, these coaching programs. So there's a coaching call here at 12 o'clock. It's 11:37 now. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be on that coaching call there. And it was one of those things where when I had money, I was able to jump on it and pay for this stuff, right? Drop the thousands of dollars into it. And I'm not saying that it doesn't work. It works, but you know, everything takes time. Everything takes time. So just doing that. But I'm gonna go ahead and link that video so you can watch that one, and just feel free to drop a comment down below, hit that follow button, hit that notification bell, and if you haven't started, go ahead and start. Just start firing off those emails. And if you're already doing it, I would love to know how you're doing in your 9x12 business. All right, everyone, have a great day.